So Don't Sleep was the episode title for episode 4 of Raising Kanan, and revenge was swift with Unique. We saw him killing one of his own, we saw the stash house being hit, and Marvin causing problems for his family and the Thomas organization, something we dive deep into in my preview and predictions video, but we finally saw why he's the muscle to Rack's drug ring, and you can bet this kill won't be his last. We're gonna dive deep into Marvin's role in this video, but elsewhere we saw Jukebox get into trouble with yet another one of her licks, and Jukebox is slowly starting to become one of my favorite characters on Raising Kanan. Her relationship with Lulu is gonna begin to grow, and that's something that we're gonna see in the coming episodes. Kanan was taught another harsh lesson in the world that he's now in, and you can bet Rack won't be happy with the bloody shirt that she's found at the end of the episode, but we're gonna dive deep into everything that went down with the raid, broken promises and revenge in this review and recap video. But if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related. But let's start with where the episode started, and that was Unique killing Trez G, one of his own boys. They grew up on the same floor, played Little League together, they were day one. But at the end of the day, none of that adds up to shit when you're in the game, and it showed. In the last episode, Rack sent Detective Howard straight to Unique's re-up, and Trez was the man who was in charge of the pickup of the product, which was raided by the police, and we were finally introduced to what Unique was about. He was someone that wasn't afraid to hurt and kill someone that he loved. He instills fear into his crew, telling them that Trez could have been any one of them, and I do agree they need to feel fear, but at the same time they need to feel loyalty and trust in their leader. I thought about the approach that Ghost took in the very first episode when his courier got slashed. Tommy wanted to ice her, but Ghost had her moving into working in one of their stash houses because it would have sent the wrong message killing one of the couriers that followed all the right protocols. So was Unique right in killing Trez? I don't think so, because he just killed one of his own when he knew it was Rack behind all of this after the call with Dean. He was cutting the supply until things calmed down with the cops. Dean is someone who keeps his head down, so I'm really not surprised that he paused Unique's re-up. Now Unique doesn't seem to have someone who is his right hand man like Rack has Lulu, because he's just about to step on his own product just to keep the supply running, and that's something that could do more damage in the long run. Sometimes you just need someone to tell you from right from wrong, but Unique doesn't seem to have someone like this. Unless Trez was that guy, then he's just killed him. And we knew revenge was going to be swift and quick this week, so we're going to stay with the storyline with Unique and the stash house being hit, and this is where Unique uses and presses Davina. He sees Kanan with Buck's girl Davina, well Kanan's girl by the looks of it now, but Unique sees them kiss and presses her on her mom's. He knows that she's a junkie, and he said that he'll help her if she helps him. And if you notice the theme of favors in this episode, this is something that Lulu mentioned in his conversation with Jukebox, which I'm going to come to later. But Unique gives her a story about someone called Rudy who is married to his cousin, and how he used to be a crackhead. He paid for everything for him to get clean, and he wanted to do the same for Davina's mom, but it was going to cost her some information, and we all know what that information was: the stash house that she saw Kanan coming out of. And Davina actually does sound like she's someone that cares about Kanan. I know there's a lot of talk about not being able to trust Davina, and I still feel this is the case, because Unique planted the seed in her mind about Kanan not being completely honest about what happened with Buck, and I'm sure this is something that's unfinished between Kanan and Davina. She's definitely going to find out the truth at some point. Now Rack had a place at the bodega secured, 14 gauge of double reinforced steel, locks and deadbolts up and down with cameras, and all she needed was Marvin to shift the product and the stash house over from the house to the bodega. It sounds simple, but it's Marvin. We spoke about Marvin's turning point in my last video, and how he's the one who's someone who could cause trouble for the Thomas organization and the Thomas family, because it's just who he is. He was in charge from moving everything over from the house to the bodega, and he goes to Scrappy, who's got the shits, so he's gonna go and grab Kanan instead. This is the thing with Marvin, he doesn't seem to think about the bigger picture. Now him bringing Kanan in is one thing, but then leaving him on his own at the stash house, that was the biggest mistake. He should never have left him alone in the stash house, because Unique and his boys were eyeing up the house after Davina gave the right location. They were waiting until Marvin was gone, and then they strike. They pretty much take half their shit, and we finally see why Marvin is the muscle to Rack's drug ring. And we didn't know whether these guys were going to get away robbing the stash house, but they did. Unfortunately for one of Unique's boys, he didn't, and all this shit is going to have big consequences on both sides. Raquel found Kanan's bloody shirt at the end of the episode, and Marvin taught him to always burn his top, and that's just another lesson that Kanan's going to have to learn, because Raquel is going to come down on him, and she's going to come down on Marvin in the next episode as well. Marvin really fucked up in this episode, but I do feel he'll redeem himself next week. The stash house being robbed wasn't Kanan's fault. He's just a kid who's still learning, and he's nowhere near ready to step up and get a promotion like he mentioned at the beginning of the episode. This was definitely Marvin's fault, because he should never have asked Kanan to help him in the first place, and on top of that he should never have left him alone with the stash. So next week there's going to be some consequences, and let's see what Raquel's next move is now. She's going to have to hit back, and Marvin's going to have to make up for all of this, because he's the one responsible. But if he's taught us one thing in the first episode, then he's someone that will always stay loyal to his family, and someone that will always have their back. I'm sure Marvin will step up and make up for his mistakes. I hope we do anyway. But this is just another lesson for Kanan in the world that he seems so eager to enter. In the last episode he said that he was born ready, and he definitely isn't someone who's born ready. You could argue that Jukebox is born ready, but Kanan still has a long way to go. Him having a gun to his forehead and him getting robbed is just another lesson for him, and Raquel is definitely going to teach him another next week after she found this. And you could really really see Kanan's character taking a turn after the death of D-Wiz, and there's more to come. But elsewhere in the episode, Kanan weren't too happy with his mom's bringing Symphony home, and I don't blame him, especially after the first time he saw him on his shit half naked. But by the end of the episode, he seems to come around to the idea of Symphony, not because he likes him, but he seems like he's gonna try for his mom's anyway, and I don't think Symphony and Kanan will strike much of a relationship, but let's wait and see. Now Jukebox and Nicole, this is a relationship that Marvin's gonna find out about soon. I think about this videotape that they have of them singing, and I don't know whether this is the only copy, but if Jukebox ever takes this home or Marvin ever sees this, he ain't gonna be too happy. He's not too happy with his daughter into all of this singing shit, and they're gonna clash real soon. I do think that's something we could see in the next couple of episodes. But Jukebox isn't too happy that Famous seems to be getting a free ride into the studio that she's busting her ass off to try and get into. This is why she's pulling these licks, so she can save up every penny to get her studio time and have foot in the door, while Famous seems to have just walked his way in with Jessica's help, and that's the favor game. But one thing Lulu taught Jukebox in this episode is that a favor is just another way of ending up under someone else's thumb, and Jukebox is just like Lulu, she doesn't like asking for help or favors. But what Jukebox learned with this lesson is that it's always a good thing when someone else owes you a favor, just like the same security guard who she helped when Rip was beating him. He let her off because she helped him. So over the course of Raising Kanan, I do think we'll find people under Jukebox's thumb a lot more. But Lulu and Jukebox, they share a common interest in music, and they were always going to have more of a relationship than she was going to have with Marvin, and it really is starting to show. So next week and over the next couple of episodes, we're really going to start to see them together a lot more in my opinion, with Lulu helping her getting the foot in the door with the music industry. But Gabriel, the owner of the bodega, he's someone who's a ticking time bomb though. He's someone that beats his wife, someone that's always asking too many questions, and someone that's always talking too much, and sooner or later he's going to feel the wrath of one of the Thomases, so he's going to have to go this season. But that was episode 4. It was another build-up episode to this war and a fire that Unique and Rak just keep pouring petrol on, and sooner or later something is going to have to give. Rak is definitely going to hit back in the next episode, and Unique is going to feel it next week. I think we'll see more of Marvin's aggression, and I think we'll see more bodies dropping next week, and from next week is when we really start to see shit kick off and start moving faster. They talk about episode 5, 8 and 10 being the biggest, so I'm expecting a big episode next week with these 2 last build-up episodes. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Drop me your thoughts and comments on episode 4 of Raising Kanan, Don't Sleep, where revenge was swift with Unique, because I'm going to be back with my second video talking about a few of the main key talking points from this episode. So drop all your thoughts down below on Marvin's actions and how he's cost the Thomas family, and Unique's way of leading. Was he right in killing Trez G? Drop all your thoughts and comments down below, and of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related over the coming months. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.